This video will cover some lying poses, including locust and bow variations, bridge, happy baby, shoulder stand, and supine twists. Moving into our prone poses through plank, going down through our chaturanga all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes and reach the arms down by the side to look at some locust variations. In locust, we can lift just our chest and arms from the floor, gaze slightly forward but not so much as to hurt the neck, or lifting both lower and upper body off the floor, trying to squeeze both legs and shoulder blades together. Another locust variation is to clasp the hands at the small of the back, lifting legs, chest, shoulders off the floor, using the strength of the back and the glutes. To exit, gently release back to the floor. For bow, we can take single leg or both leg variations. Starting here on the right, bend into the right leg. If able, reaching back with the right arm, finding the foot with the hand, and pushing hand into foot to help lift the body off the floor. Now for single leg boat on the left side, bending into the left leg, finding the bind with the left hand on the left foot, pushing foot into hand with an option to raise opposite arm overhead. For full bow, bend into both legs, finding the bind with both hands either around the feet or the ankles, and pushing feet or ankles into the hands with toes pointed or with feet flexed to lift the lower and the upper body off the floor. Releasing from bow with one more locust variation with arms overhead. It can feel really good after back bends to rest the head on the forearms, find a small tuck of the tailbone, and give the hips a little rock back and forth. Now let's take a look at a few poses that can be taken from the supine position. The first pose on our back we're going to look at is bridge pose. Coming down onto our backs, we're going to keep knees bent, stepping the feet in a little closer to our bottom, bringing the heels to where the fingertips can just tap them, driving into the heels to lift the hips. You may take bridge pose with hands flat on the ground, or roll the shoulders further underneath the body, finding the clasp of the hands, pushing hands into the floor to drive the hips a little higher. Come down by rolling one vertebrae at a time back to the floor. Now lifting our legs up and bending our knees into happy baby. You can grab onto the big toes or hands around the outside edges of the feet. I like to start with finding a gentle rock back and forth while in this happy baby position, and we'll see legs extended variations later in this video. Moving into a gentle inversion, dead bug or legs up in the air. For an even more restorative position, you can do legs up a wall. But in any variation you choose, remember to keep the entire back planted to the floor, which usually requires a slight activation of the core. Now moving into candlestick pose or shoulder stand. Engage the core to lift the legs up overhead, supporting the back with the palms, squeezing thighs together and trying to maintain a straight line with the body. To come out, I like to use my arms like brakes and really engage into the core to try to lower one vertebrae at a time. Now moving into supine twists. Bringing left knee towards the chest and extending right leg straight. Right hand to outer left knee. Extend left arm straight out beside you. Twist through the spine, bringing the left knee towards the floor while keeping the left shoulder flat on the ground. And on the opposite side, bringing left hand to outside of right knee, twisting through the spine to bring left knee towards the floor, but only as far as you can keep that right shoulder planted on the ground. Now taking one last look at happy baby variations. Grabbing on to big toes as seen earlier, or reaching for the outside edges of either foot, whichever position allows you to maintain contact with the low back on the floor. You can stay in stillness, take a little rock back and forth, or work towards extending one leg and then the other. Maybe finding extension through both legs at the same time. Remembering to let this feel good, as it is often a pose that we take in preparation for our Shavasana.